Your skin is losing its structure right now, and one glass of the right drink daily can actually rebuild it from the inside. Not a cream, not a surgery, from within your own body. Now, let's talk about what is actually happening beneath your skin as you get older. Deep inside your skin is a layer called the dermis. Inside the dermis, two proteins hold everything together: collagen and elastin. Collagen gives your skin its firmness and density. Elastin gives it the ability to stretch and bounce back. Together, they are the structural foundation of tight and healthy skin. But here is what most people never hear. After your mid-20s, your body begins producing less collagen every single year. And by the time you reach your senior years, your body may have lost up to 80% of its original collagen density. Without that collagen, the dermis thins, the skin loses its internal support, and it begins to sag, wrinkle, and hang loosely. This is not aging on the surface. This is a deep biological collapse happening beneath your skin. So why does collagen production slow so dramatically? And why does existing collagen break down so fast? 3 reasons. First, collagen production requires a specific amino acid called glycine. Without sufficient glycine, collagen synthesis slows significantly. Second, vitamin C is essential. A 2021 review published by the National Institutes of Health confirmed that vitamin C directly activates the enzymes responsible for collagen formation. Without it, collagen production stops. Third, oxidative stress. Free radicals attack collagen fibers directly, breaking them down faster than your body can rebuild them. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology found that oxidative stress is one of the primary accelerators of collagen degradation in adults over 50. So the picture is clear. Collagen needs glycine and vitamin C to be built, and it is being destroyed by oxidative stress every day. Address all 3 simultaneously, and your skin begins to rebuild. Here is exactly what to drink. 1 glass daily of marine collagen peptides, mixed with fresh lemon juice, and pomegranate or fresh berries. Here is why this works scientifically. Marine collagen peptides are broken down into small fragments, small enough to absorb directly into your bloodstream. A 2019 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology found that daily marine collagen consumption for 12 weeks showed a 28% improvement in skin elasticity, significant reduction in wrinkle depth, and measurable increase in skin hydration. In just 12 weeks, adding fresh lemon juice delivers natural vitamin C, which activates collagen-building enzymes and protects newly formed collagen from immediate oxidative damage. Adding pomegranate or berries delivers powerful antioxidants that neutralize the free radicals destroying your existing collagen. All 3 working together, simultaneously. Here is how to prepare it. 1 scoop of hydrolyzed marine collagen powder, juice of half a fresh lemon, 1 teaspoon of pomegranate juice, or a small handful of fresh berries. Mix into 1 glass of cool or room temperature water. Never hot water. Heat reduces the effectiveness of the peptides. Drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Absorption is at its highest when your stomach is empty. 1 glass every morning, consistently. A 2020 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology reviewed 11 clinical studies on oral collagen supplementation and concluded that consistent daily collagen intake significantly improved skin elasticity, reduced loose and sagging skin, and improved hydration across all studied age groups. All age groups. That includes you. Your skin retains the biological ability to rebuild collagen at any age. It simply needs the right raw materials, delivered every single day. So here is what we know. Loose skin is driven by collagen loss. Marine collagen peptides deliver the raw materials your skin needs. Vitamin C activates the enzymes that build new collagen. Antioxidants protect what is already there. And research confirms this combination works. Start tomorrow morning. 1 glass. And give your skin what it needs to rebuild itself from the inside out. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried collagen supplementation? Did you notice a difference? Leave your answer in the comments below. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who deserves to feel confident in their own skin again. Thank you for watching. Take care of your skin. It is the first thing the world sees of you.